Douglas Bickford. It is the 12th of June, 2021. How y'all doing out there today? Never, never give up. And your attitude determines your direction. That's what my house is. My house is littered with positive affirmations. Because the more you say good about yourself, the more that it'll come true. And here is the one simple way to make your self-esteem, self-love go into hyperdrive, okay? And it'll get you self-esteem, self-love very, very quickly. If you say this one simple concept, look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. And say it every day. And don't tell anybody you're doing it. Don't tell your mom, don't tell your dad, don't tell your grandpa, don't tell your grandma, don't tell your husband, don't tell your wife. Don't tell your cousins, don't tell your brothers and sisters, don't tell anybody you're doing it, just do it. And do it every day and keep doing it. And because as soon as you tell somebody about it, they're going to say you're absolutely out of your mind. Okay, that's it. And what that will do for you, all good things. You can add to it. You can, as much as you say in the mirror to yourself positive, that's what will come to you in your life. Okay. I say it. I have I don't know how many things I say to myself in the mirror. All positive. Never ever talk bad about yourself, whether you're in front of a mirror or not. Always say good things about yourself. You can go throughout the day saying good things about yourself. You can mumble it to yourself, walking around saying good things about yourself. And it will give you the truth. And what that will do is wake up that deep, you know how you got that deep, we all feel like there's something missing from inside. It will quench that loneliness we all feel, and we all feel it. And you can't tell me you don't feel the loneliness. That's why you turn the television on. That's why you have background noise when you wake up in the morning. That's why you go to sleep with the TV on. That's why you go to sleep with the radio on or music playing. Because it's what that does to you. You're trying to fill that emptiness you feel inside. When you know how you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you got that, it's like it's quiet unless your TV's still going or your radio's still going, right? You feel that loneliness, okay? When the facade is down, you're in bed and you're just waking up. You're just like, And then what happens is when you wake up in the morning, you still have that emptiness because you don't have self-esteem, self-love. But that one simple concept will give you self-esteem. And guess what you do if you don't have self-esteem? You wake up in the morning, first thing you do, if you smoke, you grab a cigarette. And I'd say like 99.99% of the population drink coffee. Okay. And the first thing you get, if you smoke, you grab a cigarette and you grab a cup of coffee. Okay. And then the next thing you do is turn on the freaking morning news and get pounded. So if you smoke, you get the nicotine, which is a drug. And if you drink coffee, you get the caffeine, which is a drug. And then you get your morning dose of brainwashing from the morning news, whether it's the radio or the TV. That's how you start your day off. Now, if you get up and the first thing you do in the morning is go look at yourself in the mirror as soon as you go in the bathroom, because everybody does, right out of the bed. If the first thing you did was walk in the bathroom all groggy and blah, 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 and look at yourself in the mirror and said, I love you, then you won't need coffee anymore. You won't need that cigarette anymore. And then the next thing you do, as soon as you do that, you get up. This is what you do to get healthy. You get up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, and then you go to the mirror and you say, I love you. Then the next thing you do is jump in and take a hot shower. and scrub your body all down, soap, wash your hair, then get out. If you're a guy, you shave and all that. This is the first thing you do in the morning instead of, because what that'll do to you, it's just going to start your day off and you'll have a fresh start. You'll feel clean. And, I mean, that's what I do. And that has made me healthy instead of, because of the shower and the warm water and the soap. Because, just one day of not taking a shower, man, it's like, you know how dirty you get, sweat and everything else. But if you start your day off like that, go to the bathroom, say I love you in the mirror, and then jump in and take a nice hot shower. Okay. And then you can start your day off fresh like that. But you got to keep saying I love you in the mirror daily. Okay. Anyway, that will change your life. But I am going through, and we are all connected. I got a website being built. It's called that. That's my whole mission because we're all connected. We are connected. And what that will do to you if you look in, sorry, I go off on different subjects, but the website is being built. We are all connected. But what the I love you in the mirror will do for you is it will connect you. That loneliness is God inside of you. Uh, and by saying I love you in the mirror and getting self-esteem, self-love, then you will realize that God lives in you because he does. And guess what else he lives in that nobody believes? He lives in Mother Earth. He lives in all little animals. He lives in the trees. He lives in anything alive. He lives in the fish. They all have the spirit. That's why an animal has unconditional love. But you can have unconditional love too. If you just say I love you in the mirror, you keep saying it the rest of your life. I am serious. And then get the book, The Portable Therapist. She's a Dr. Susanna McMahon, got a doctorate in psychology. So she's a psychiatrist. She knows what she's talking about. This is where I'm getting all my knowledge is coming from this book. Okay. Then, and it's true, folks. You say, I love you in the mirror. You will feel it when you start going around people. Because you have to have self-esteem before you can ever have a relationship with anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a love relationship or just a relationship, period. But anyway, you can get the book. It's in the link in the description of this video. You can get it for like $6 to $12. Get the book, read it, apply it to your life, and you won't be the same person. I'm not the same person I was. I'm pushing 8 months now of being out of a toxic relationship. And that's what happened to me. I got woke up. My cat woke me up. I believe God did it. Because my ex-wife to be was going to kill my cat because my cat scratched her mother in the face, but her mother turned around and lied about it. Oh, bullseye, my cat just jumped up off the floor for no reason and just got in her face and attacking her. And it was all a lie. And then my wife believed it. My wife sat there and said that day, it was November 2nd, 2000, or I believe it was November 1st, 2020. I'll never forget the day. It will go down in my life as one of my life's biggest moments. She sat there and said to me, I'll kill your cat. And she had already killed 2 of my cats. One, his name was Bear. She took a gun and shot him in the back of the head. And that's how low a self-esteem, she has become evil because of her low self-esteem. And I let her do it. And it gave me PTSD. I thought about it. It's been over 2 years. And I thought about it forever. But anyway, I'm going to have the next chapter for you here in a minute. Okay, so here we are, chapter 76 from The Portable Therapist. What is a dysfunctional family? I came out of one, okay? And here's what it is. This term is currently used to define families or relationships that do not function in a healthy manner. People involved in these families are caught in some kind of vicious cycle that is caught that is causing all concern, pain, and destructive patterns of relating with each other and to themselves. And this is Bullseye. He's the one that the Great Spirit used to get me out. They were going to kill him. Look how cool he is. He's innocent. Now, he didn't do anything wrong, did you, buddy? But anyway, so, I mean, they were going to kill him. She was going to take a gun and shoot him in the back of the head, like she did Bear. But that was my final no. And that got me out of the dysfunctional family that they all are. They are all a big ball of dysfunction. That whole family is, and it's twisted, man. Psychopaths, freaking. My wife was a psychopath, but she wasn't killing people. She was killing animals. She enjoyed it. Okay, and all of them. Her mother. Just anyway. Okay, buddy, you got to get down. Your claws on me. Anyway, so here we go. People involved in these families are caught in some kind of type of vicious cycle that is causing all concern, pain, and destructive patterns of relating with each other and to themselves. Families with an alcoholic, a drug addict, a member with a personality disorder, an abusive member, a criminal, or any type of destructive person are usually dysfunctional. This term evolved from perceiving the family as a system rather than focusing only on the offender's problem. when one person in the family has a major problem, the whole family has the problem and everyone becomes involved in the mess. And it's a huge mess. I was so thankful that the Great Spirit used my cat to get me out of it because there was something weird going on. I had no idea what it was. And then, of course, I got blamed for everything. I mean, literally everything. And I was the one that was making all the money. Okay. I mean, I'm retired military and then I took my Social Security and, but walked out. It was like she was telling my daughter that I was mentally ill and everything else because I got misdiagnosed because I was the one that tried to go get help with a therapist. She blamed it on me and said it was all my fault that we were fighting. And that she was drinking. Okay. We were, she was drinking and we were fighting. I always told her to quit drinking, but oh, I don't have a problem with it. You know, you got the problem with it. So you go ahead and quit drinking, you know. And then she would never quit drinking. And her brother, he was an alcoholic, drug addict, chain smoking, hoarding, a racist, sociopath, bully. Okay. Anyway, where was I here? But I was so glad I got removed from that whole situation. And now I have self esteem, self love because of the one simple concept I told you. If you're in one, get out. Okay. Because it'll never change. Hot chocolate now. I quit drinking coffee. When one person in the family has a major problem, the whole family has the problem and everyone becomes involved in the mess. Dysfunction can also occur without an offending person. If there is a big family secret, she had all kinds of secrets in their sexual abuse secrets by her father and I believe by her brother Denver. Okay. I believe Denver molested her when she was a kid because he was a half brother. I believe that, for sure, I believe that he did something to her, and that was one of the big secrets that Denver had molested her. He was like 7 years older than her. Okay. Yeah, he was 7, maybe 8. So that would have put him at 15, and her at uh, 7 or 8 years old. Okay. Or him at 17 and her at, 11. And I believe that he probably, he touched her or even had sex with her. Okay. Because she couldn't get away from him. Okay. It was the weirdest thing. And then she always had to talk to him. And it's like there was something there between them. Okay. And he was the one that ended up living on my property the whole time, except with the exception of about 4 months that we were married. And even when he wasn't living there, he was living there when I moved there. Okay. It's one of the family secrets that she was holding. Okay. But anyway, so she told her best friend, her name was Kathy. She told her the secret. And because her friend Kathy had been sexually abused or whatever by whoever, but I never got to know that whatever happened to her because my wife told me, I'll never tell you what happened to Kathy. So Kathy was holding her secret, and then Kathy would come over there, and there's a very strange, I got this weird feeling. I had to leave the room when she was either talking to her on the phone or when that she would show up without even calling or nothing, just like pop up at the door and there she'd be. I go, she'd at least call. And my wife would go, oh, she can come over whenever she wants. There's nothing wrong with that. And then we would fight because Kathy would show up at our house unannounced at the weirdest times. Like right dinner, when we're just like sitting down at dinner or whatever, she'd just pop in. Oh, I didn't mean to show up. But she didn't bother calling either. Or, and then there was this weird vibration that I would get accused of being mean to Kathy. Like she would say, why you're not nice to Kathy? I mean, but I didn't do anything to Kathy. I never said a word about it. But I'd always like, I'll just let you, I would use the excuse. I'd go, I'll just let you girls, you know, have your conversations. But I got a weird vibration, and Kathy would manipulate my wife. I could just feel it. I could sense it. She would put her on a guilt trip, and she would make my wife think that Kathy needed food or whatever, and my wife would always just give it to her. Like we had I paid $500 for a pig, right, to have butchered and all that from a meat processing place in Sandpoint, Idaho. Cassandra ended up giving away the to Kathy some of the meat out of that pig. Oh, she would give her care packages, right? And Kathy was a single woman, had her house paid for in cash. We were struggling, okay? I was barely even making the payment and feeding all the animals, and then my wife turned around and give Kathy all kinds of stuff all the time. When Kathy would come over, they take Kathy would say, "I'm not taking my car." They'd go out and pick huckleberries, right? And then Kathy would make my wife take her car with 190,000 miles on it to drive off into the woods. Wouldn't pay for gas or nothing. Then the kid Sandra would give her most of the huckleberries that she picked. Wouldn't even split it down the middle. She'd give Kathy more. Okay. That's all part of that dysfunction that was going on. But I could sense all this stuff. I knew it going in 6 months, even 4 months into the relationship. I mean, we got married in May, right? August, we had a party for her brother, right? He was going to be 53 or something. And a bunch of their family, right? I mean, like 12 people or something. Her mom and dad, her best friend, whose name was Susan, another best friend, her husband, just about 12 of us. Anyway, I said, okay, so let's just make spaghetti and feed everybody. My wife said to me, she goes, no, my brother likes steak. Let's have steak. I ended up spending, and I said, because I was like trying to make the relationship work, right? I ended up spending $238 for ribeye steaks down there at the local Mitchell's store in Priest River, right? $238. Okay. And she was like, I said, I can't, I told her, I said, I can't afford steak. She goes, oh, well, that's what my brother likes, steak. And that was like within the first 3 months of our marriage. Another time, I bought a case of Frosted Flakes. Okay, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes case for $1 a box. So I bought the whole case. It was at grocery outlet, not grocery outlet, but yeah, I think it was grocery outlet. No, it was cash and carry where I got because I had a hot dog business. I bought a case of sugar Frosted Flakes, right? Kellogg's for $1 a box. Brought it home, and I go check it out what I bought. And she looks at the box and she goes, I wouldn't feed that to the chickens, she says. After I bought, I mean, added to our, I wouldn't eat that, she says. I mean, that's the kind of stuff, this was in the first 3 or 4 months of the marriage. And that's all the red flags I started getting. And I was like, oh man, I really screwed up when I married her. And I did. I married her after 3 weeks. But anyway, it all turned out good. So anyway, continue on dysfunctional family. And we got off on the big family secret because she had many big family secrets. Okay. And I believe they're all sex abuse. And I think it came from her father too. Because he would sneak in the shower and throw cold water on his naked teenage daughters, right? I told her, I said, that's twisted. I said, there's something going on with your dad. I mean, he wants to look at your body naked. Oh no, he's just a big joker. She defended him. And then her mother burnt her with a cigarette when she was changing her diaper. Okay. That was more abuse. I believe their mother did it on purpose. And that was a big joke. Oh, no, my mother would never do something like that on purpose. How do you burn a little kid, a baby, changing a diaper with a cigarette butt? With a cigarette, you know, she did it on purpose. Either that or she was drunk when she did it. Okay. But all kinds of weird crap happened with her mother too. Schizophrenic mother, alcoholic father, and then she told me that she would tell me that she was in denial of whatever happened with her dad because she told me that this is the mother in denial that because she said, oh no, my dad was a really nice guy even though he was an alcoholic raging drunk. Okay. That never took care of her. The mother was a schizophrenic. Okay, the mother had men in and out of the house, right? When her mother was like 12 years old or whatever it was, having sex with them right in front of the daughter, right? And then I asked her mother about that, and her mother goes, "Oh no, oh no, I fended off all those guys at 12 years. No, they couldn't touch me, but she got raped." Probably by a bunch of men when she was 12 years old. Because the mother was having sex with him right in front of her in the room, right? Whatever house they lived in. So then my wife was in denial of all the sex, the secrets, whatever happened to her. I know one thing, she got raped by a freaking Mormon dude that lived on their property, right? The mother never did nothing about it. The father was away in the military. Then the father comes back, doesn't even know his own daughters. Okay, he's gone, right? Throwing cold water on him in the shower. Okay, going in so he can look at their naked bodies. He probably molested both the daughters, and they all know all these secrets were like swept under the rug, and that's exactly what happened to our relationship. I was sexually molested as a child. I told her all my deep dark secrets. And she told me flat out, I'll never tell you what happened to me as a child. So that's what the big family secret was. All kinds of them in that family. And that's why they are the way they are. And I think my wife was married 8 or 9 times. I might have been the ninth. She would never tell me how many times she was married. It was my fourth. Okay. Okay. When one person in the family, okay, if there's a big family secret or outside conflict that affects the family in a destructive manner, the family can become dysfunctional. That's exactly what happened in that family. Everyone in the family becomes a victim in some way of the problem. Unfortunately, too many families today seem to be dysfunctional. These families have too much tension. My whole family's dysfunctional. My daughter, my son, they're both with abusive alcoholics. My uh, four brothers, one sister, one half brother, one half sister. Major dysfunction. I haven't talked to any of them. I don't even have a relationship with any of them because of all the sex abuse that we all took as children by my father. Okay. But you just have to cut yourself out off away from it. That's what I've done completely, even for my own two kids, because they think I'm a maniac. They think I've gone off the deep end by what I'm doing here on YouTube, teaching self-esteem. Unfortunately, too many families today seem to be dysfunctional. These families have too much tension, a lack of meaningful communication, and inability to deal with feelings, a lack of support for each other, unnecessary and destructive criticisms, a discouraging atmosphere, and the inability for each member to develop and grow in a positive way. The home feels more like a war zone than a safe, secure place. A sure sign that we live in a dysfunctional family is an is when we hate or are afraid to go home. Frequently, we find splitting among the family members, tenuous alliances, many secrets, and a great deal of backstabbing. When I first met my wife, the first week, I talked to her on the phone. She was talking all kinds of trash about her brothers, her sister, her mother, her father, her cousins, her daughter. She was telling me all this bad stuff about them. I mean, literally, everything bad came out of her mouth about her family. Okay, all of them. Then I get in middle of all that, and then she turns on me, and her last words to me, "Oh, my mother needs me." And my wife didn't even have a job. No, you needed. She needed her mother to pay all the bills for her. Okay, I mean literally that was the last time I talked to her. Okay, which was 18th of December. No, the 18th of November. Okay, last conversation I had with her. That's her exact words to me. Because one last time I tried to go back on the 18th of November, 2020, and those were exact words to me. Okay, no, my mother needs me, and that was it. My mother doesn't want to be around you anymore. And it was I married her, and her mother moved in and took over the whole. Then, no, so she had her mother to take care of her, because I had all the money coming in, retired military and then Social Security, right? No, as soon as your mother moved back in, oh no, my mom needs me. Translation is, no, you need your mother. Okay. And her mother abused her, so she got this twisted connection with her mother and her father, who is now dead. Each member of the family learns unhealthy defenses in order to survive. And the children of these families take this faulty training with them into their relationships. And that's exactly what happened to me with my wife. She took all that stuff that her mom and dad did to her and brought it into our marriage. Okay. In this way, several dysfunctional families will evolve out of one dysfunctional family of origin. So the cycle just repeats itself. Dysfunctional families produce dysfunctional people who then go on to create dysfunctional families. Her daughter hated my guts. She hated her daughter, but then it was always, oh no, I'll never not love my daughter. Even though she would talk so much trash about her daughter, and their daughter would hated her and literally scream and yell at her. But she couldn't be around her own grandkids because she married me and blamed it all on me. okay, that she couldn't see her grandkids anymore. Family therapists discovered that it is not enough to take the person with the problem out of the family for treatment and then send the patient back into the dysfunctional system. In order to have a positive change, emphasis must shift to the family unit and away from the designated problem person. At times, even concerned parties outside of the immediate family, close friends, that was her friend Kathy, other relatives, helpers who have become involved with the problem, must also be involved in the treatment intervention in order for change to occur. Frequently, a crisis is needed in the family in order to get everyone involved in treatment. Their father died in 2018, August 2018. My wife never shed one tear for the guy. None of them did. And guess what? Because he was abusive to all of them. That's why they never shed any tears. And the mother knew it. She didn't even shed any tears at the funeral. Absolutely not one of them. They're all glad to see him go because he tortured them, you know, with probably sexual molestation and everything else. And the mother was all in on it. My wife started. She had some weird thing. She was all mad at him after he died. You know, it never got fixed. Okay, so that didn't change them one iota. In fact, then they started fighting. Okay, started fighting about all of it. Okay, let's see. So that was a crisis, but it didn't change them one iota. In fact, they just like all like, you know, start getting mad at each other. The paradox of crisis is that it can often be the most positive event for a dysfunctional family if the crisis precipitates the change process. Most dysfunctional families do not change, and that's the truth. My ex-wife, my very first wife, her family's all dysfunctional. Her mom and dad stuck it out for who knows, like 70 years or some crazy thing. And they're both racist. They call black people coons that they have for years. And the mother is like super critical, uh, my first wife's mother. And just racist, did, calling people names and everything else. But they all have money. So they buy their happiness with money. And I would never fit in with that. We were married 16 years. I never fit in with them because I never had money. And now that I have a house paid for in cash, I won't even bring them over here because they would criticize me because this house is old. I mean, it's nice and clean and new paint and all that. But they would look at this house and be, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that. And, you know, they would never even they don't recognize I'm a musician, very talented on piano. You can see my videos. I'm running my stuff in my videos. That's good stuff. That's all Bach, and I'm doing it on keyboard. But I'm going to be making more music on a real piano because I have a real piano now. Most dysfunctional families do not change because to remain dysfunctional is easier and more familiar than to risk the unknown. The familiarity of the problem and the family's responses to create a crazy kind of security for family members. Better the devil you know than the one you don't know. It seems easier to remain static and stuck than to learn and develop new patterns. This is a terrible illusion because dysfunctional relationships require much more energy to maintain than healthy ones, and the effort involved in this maintenance does not produce positive rewards for anyone involved. If the family refuses to change its destructive system, then the family member who wants to change must choose to do so on his or her own, regardless of the family's reaction. This can be a very difficult choice, sometimes leading to the separation from the sick system. However, we are responsible for ourselves first! Exclamation point. I had to leave my daughter and my son. I haven't talked to them in months. I tried to talk to my son. I haven't talked to my daughter for going on 8 months because she's her mother married low, no self-esteem, married another guy, no self-esteem. They're still married since 94, 95 or something like that. They're still married, very dysfunctional, but they have money, so they buy their happiness with money. Okay, beautiful house, beautiful neighborhood, cars, trucks, you name it, they got it. But they're all highly in debt to the banks. But Marty, that's his name, when he first met my wife, my kids were teenage kids. He was doing meth with my teenage kids. All that got swept under the rug. I have no idea, you know. I was like livid when I found out. That was like back in the 90s. It all got swept under the rug. He never even apologized to me for it. And to this day, it's all swept under the rug. I can't be around my daughter. My grandkids are all dysfunctional. You know, both of them now, both my granddaughters have kids, at 18 years old, 17, 18. You know, brought more kids into the dysfunctional system, you know, and then that's all going to turn out dysfunctional because, I mean, it's crazy. So I had to separate myself from it. Okay, all of it, because they all say I'm nuts out here teaching self-esteem, right? Making YouTube videos about it, and I can't be around it. I cannot listen to the backstabbing, the all the negative that comes out of all their mouths, okay, about everybody and everything. They don't have one iota of self-esteem. They don't care, okay? So just like this book, I made a decision 8 months ago to quit talking to my daughter. She was defending Cassandra, my ex-wife. I might even be divorced from her, depend on, maybe she did it. I don't know. Because I haven't had no contact at all. Okay. I hope she did, but whatever. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying for it. She can do it. I'm not planning on getting married again ever anyway. I haven't latched on to another person. I like doing what I'm doing. And I'm a lot happier being alone instead of in some twisted relationship. I'm telling you, man, the world's been duped. But you can all change it for yourself if you say, I love you in the mirror. Anyway, never, never give up. And your attitude determines your direction. You all have a great day out there. You can contact Douglas Bickford at DouglasBickford753 at gmail.com for anybody that wants to get a hold of me. You all have a great day out there.